Hello and welcome back to the launch series for EdgeRater PRO Unleashed. This is the third in a series of videos to support the launch of the new product, EdgeRater PRO Unleashed. And this video is all about simple customization. In the first video, I talked about the strategy short selling stocks with ConnorsRSI and how that is implemented within EdgeRater PRO Unleashed as a trading template. And there are many other strategies also implemented in the software. And there's also a category for high growth stock investor, reports, and there's a category for Morales and Kasha. And in that category, there's a template that lets you find trading signals based on their books in the trading cockpit with the O'Neill disciples and how to trade like an O'Neill disciple. So if you've read those books and you want to find the signals daily for pocket pivots and buyable gap ups and know when to sell based on the 7-week rule, then look in the Morales and Kasha template. But this video, as I said, is all about customizing a signals template. For a bit of a change, rather than using the short selling stocks with ConnorsRSI, which I covered in the first video, I'm going to talk about this in context of the S&P 500 trading with ConnorsRSI strategy. So if you watch this video, you'll also find out the recent performance of that strategy, because I will actually be showing you one of the templates or the resulting output of one of the templates, which has all of the results for all of the variations of that strategy. Now, the strategy is different, obviously, to the short selling strategy because it's a long only strategy. And the rules are that the stock has to be in the S&P 500, the ConnorsRSI value has to be less than W, where W can be 5 or 10. The close price has to be in the bottom X% of the range, where X can be 25, 50, 75, or 100. And the entry criteria are if the previous day was a setup, then you submit a limit order to buy Y% below yesterday's close. And Y could be 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10. So all of those numbers together go into making up the variations. And you exit if one of the following is true: either ConnorsRSI is greater than 50 or ConnorsRSI is greater than 70. Obviously, this goes into making a lot of variations. So there are 80 in total. That's calculated by the fact that there are 2 possible values for W, 4 possible values for X, 5 possible values for Y, and there are 2 possible exits. So that makes a total of 80 variations. So when you choose a variation to trade, you don't mix and match. You don't suddenly sort of switch from one to the other. You pick a variation and stick with it. So once you've instantiated those values and you've put them into a signals template, you're then trading that variation only. So I'm going to talk about how you put a particular variation into a signals template. Now, when a template is delivered, when it comes with the system, there are 3 variations only that are shown. And the reason for that is that in order to calculate all 80 variations, it will take a lot longer than just calculating 3. And once you've decided on a variation, you don't need to see the results of all 80 variations. You just want to see the results for the variation that you're trading. So you want to get signals for the variation you're trading. So this video is all about how to set that up. So I'm going to get right into the program now. And here we are in EdgeRater PRO Unleashed. And I have selected my S&P 500 trading with ConnorsRSI group down here in blue. That has come up with 2 possible templates within that group. There's the trading signals template and the trade simulation template, which is essentially the backtesting template. And so the first thing, in order to decide on a variation to trade, you probably want to run a backtest on all 80 variations to see what the results have been like over the past while. You could also just read the strategy guide published by tradingmarkets.com and pick a variation from the book just based on the results that they've published, and they've run the tests over 10 years or more of data. So there are 2 ways to pick a strategy to use. But if you were to run this strategy on the current S&P 500 stocks, and you were to run all 80 variations on 3 years worth of the S&P 500 data, then you would end up with a report which looks like this. And I did this a little earlier. This now shows each variation, and I've sorted this in terms of percent win. So the variation where W is 5, X is 50, Y is 10, and Z is 70, or Z I should say, we're in America, Z is 70, then that had 14 trades, so not a lot of trades, and it had a profit and loss average of 5.46%, and it had a hold period of 3.3 days with a 92.86% win rate. Obviously, the lower number here being 14 trades probably takes away from the statistical significance of that strategy, so you might want to ignore those ones. But as you scroll through this list, you might find a particular variation that you want to trade. So let's say, for instance, we were interested in trading, we'll just pick one at random for no particular reason. Let's pick the variation here, variation 44. That has a 2.49% average profit and loss per trade and a hold period of 3.1 days with a win rate of 67% and 58 trades. So we know the parameters of W is 5, X is 75, Y is 6, and Z is 70. So let's work on that one. What happens when you run the trade simulation report is this file, this is an Excel file, gets produced for you and shows you all of those results. And all you have to do to run that file is just press the run button. So it's very simple to get the figures here. What also happens, I'm going to show you my hard drive here, is all of the reports that get produced by the system get put into a directory called reports. And that's, if you saw the previous video on data, then you'll know that everything that is output from EdgeRater goes under the My Documents folder. So the reports directory, I ran the trade simulation and it generated for me this summary report, which is what you see here. But in order to generate the summary report, it actually had to run all of those 80 variations. So it has created an individual report for each of the 80 variations, as you can see down here. And if you look over in the number of items in this folder, I have 83. So there's 80 variations, the summary report, and I also have another folder up here. So that's just a note on how you would locate the reports that are output by the program. Of course, if you just run the report, you can view the results within the program as well. But if you want to view them after the fact, then you can come into the file system here and use Excel to open up these files. And actually that's what I'm showing you right here that we just saw in my summary report. That is actually Excel viewing that file. It's a real Excel file. Okay, so the next question would be, where are the actual templates stored? And what do I mean by template? I'll show you here. A template is actually the thing that you run in order to produce those reports. And the template is the thing that is delivered. It's delivered as part of the program, and you can download more as time goes on. And the program knows how to process the information in the template to produce the data. So here are the two templates that are under the S&P 500 Trading with ConnorsRSI strategy. And I'll show you where on the file system these templates are. Again, this is going to be a familiar theme now to anybody watching these videos. Everything is under the EdgeRater folder under My Documents. So if I look under Edge Club, and then I look under System, and I have this sorted by name. This is a list of all of the templates that are in the program. All right, and these also are just Excel files. They're XLSX files, so very easy to open these up within Excel, and you can actually take a look at what is contained within the file. And this is how we're going to do the modification. First of all, I have to find the template. So let's go back to the program here, and I want to show you the signals template first. Now the signals template, if I hit run on this signals template right now, it's going to go through and just calculate the signals for tomorrow, see if there's any signals for tomorrow's trading based on the data that I have here, which is based off of July 31st. And there's one signal in each of the variations that I have in the program right now, and there's 3 variations. You can see the variations in column F, G, and H. Okay, and the variation description is listed down here. But you can see that PEP, the symbol PEP, had a buy next day limit, and it tells you the limit price for each of the variations. So now it's interesting to find out where this is calculated. This is also within the template. So if we look under, I'm looking at formatted system now. Formatted system tab within Excel is just to show the user. So when you run the program, it does some raw calculations and it puts that in another part of the spreadsheet, but then it formats it nicely to show you nice things like the buy next day limit at 75.19. Now you've seen that within EdgeRater. What I'm going to do is open this template up within Excel. So first of all, I have to locate the template. I'll bring up the file system here. And I know the template is called SP500 signals. So let me open that up in Excel. And I'll bring that into view right now. And here's the signals template. Okay, and we can see the formatted system tab here. But the thing that needs to be changed when you change your variation is to change the data that's in the system tab, not the formatted system tab. You probably have to make a change in the formatted system tab too, just so you know what you're looking at. But the program, EdgeRater PRO Unleashed, will actually look in the system tab to find the scripts it needs to run in order to calculate these results. And this is what we need to change if we want to add our own variation. The variation, remember, that I said I wanted to show here is, let me bring this back up so we can remember what it is. It's W is 5, X is 75, Y is 6, and Z is 70. So what I can do is I could add a new column here to add it to the columns. So I'd get 4 different variations, but I'm just going to modify one of these. It's going to be a bit simpler to do. And this is a video on simple customization after all, so let's do that. So we can see where the parameters are in this spreadsheet. They're listed here, 5, 25, 10, and 70. All I would need to do is change it to 5, 75, 6, and 70. That's the variation we want. So I come over here, I go up to the formula box. So that would be 5, 75, 6, and 70. Okay. And so now I've changed that. I can save this file. If I save this file, what's going to happen? It's going to overwrite the file that's in the system folder. As you saw here under Edge Club system, these are the templates that are delivered with the program. It's not safe to update these because your changes are likely to be overwritten. When the program goes and fetches more templates, it could also update existing templates. And so it's not a good place to do your own customizations. So what you would do is, instead of putting it under system, is you would save it just under Edge Club. And under Edge Club right now, there's just one template called test. But what I'm going to do is save this template. Okay, save as, and it's going to be saved as, okay, I'm going to save it here as, and I'll give it a unique name. I'm going to call it my S&P 500 CRSI signals. And let me just hit the save button here. Alright, so now we know that this file is now in the root of the Edge Club directory. What does that mean in the system? When you run EdgeRater, we'll find out in just a sec. So let me close this down. Right now, you'll see that there is a category called My Templates. If I click on My Templates, the only template in there is the test file that I showed you just now. What we need to do in order for this program to pick up new templates that are added to that directory is one extra step, and that's just close this program down and run it again. And then it will read the directory and you'll have that template in that category. Let me just do that. Okay, so now I've loaded the program back again and clicked on My Templates, and you can see that the S&P 500 trading signals, and this is the customized version that I created, is now over here with that variation that we just added. That new variation in column F is there, 5, 75, 6, and 70. So let me just run this template now, and we should see that we're now seeing signals for this additional strategy. and a strategy variation. And you can see here that this column has now been filled in with raw data. Remember, when I saved the template, I saved it with the system worksheet still open. And what that means is when EdgeRater runs that template and processes the template, it will then show you the worksheet that was last left open. That isn't what you really want to see. It's interesting to take a look at because this is actually the raw output from the calculations, and it's showing you limit order equals 0, buy 1 equals 0, hold equals 0, exit equals 0. That's the raw output from the scripts. But the formatted system tab, the formatted system worksheet, is the worksheet that you want to end up viewing because it is formatted in a much nicer way for easy viewing. So you can see here that in the formatted worksheet it says buy next day limit at 66.04. That has taken those values from the raw data sheet, put them into this formatted sheet, and applied formatting that has been specified within the parameters sheet. And here is the parameters sheet, so you can see that there's a section in here saying format cells containing buy 1 equals, exit equals, and so on and so forth with, and this is what it should format it with. And that's just a configuration setting. I'm not going to get into that in any detail in this video because this is about simple customization, but that's where it picks up the formatting to apply to the formatted system sheet. You'll notice also that we didn't actually change the values on the formatted system worksheet for W, X, Y, and Z. These are just text values, and we should just go ahead and change them because obviously you want a good indication of what that variation is. So there are 2 extra steps that should be done in the template is really what I'm saying here. Let's go back to the template and make that change, and I'll show you just how easy it is. Now that you've got this within your My Templates location, you've done all the manipulation on the file system to get this showing up. Changing the template now is very, very, very simple. And actually, all of the changes you make are immediately picked up by EdgeRater Pro. So let's go back in and make that simple change. I'll bring up the template within Excel. And you can see that it was the system worksheet that was left open. If I go to the formatted system sheet, and let me just change here this text representation of what this column is, W5, X75, Y6, and Z70. So we'll change that. And the template info worksheet, I always like to leave the worksheets saved with this showing, because what will happen is when you select that template within EdgeRater Pro, this will be the first piece of information that's shown to you, and it's just a reminder of what this template is all about and how to run it. So let me save that. I'll close it down. You'll notice this EdgeRater Pro is still showing the report that's produced from the template, not the template itself, and that's where the Reset Templates button comes into play. So as soon as I hit Reset Templates, it will go and read that template now from the file system again, and you can see that it's now showing the Template Info tab. And if I hit Run again now, just let it run through those variations, and now you see that the first worksheet that's shown to you after running is the formatted system sheet, and you've got the heading set correctly with the text representation of the variation, and you've also got the formatted data, so buy next day limit at 66.04. Okay, so what we've covered in this video is a way to do a simple customization, and that simple customization is just modifying a template that is already existing. It's not adding any extra columns, it's not removing columns. I would put that into a category of more advanced customization, and it's something that I would like to do a video on. I would be interested to see how many people are interested in doing that, and if I get a lot of response about that, then I'll put a video together on how to do a more advanced customization. So I hope you found this video interesting. Go ahead and run your performance reports, find the variations that you are interested in trading, and just try adding those variations into your own customized version of the template. So that's it for this video, and thanks for watching.